I want to talk about the ick factor in sales today because lately it's been feeling like I've been just triggering people left and right around me in terms of talking about sales. And, on one level as a coach, it's not anything that I'm not used to, especially when I talk about sales, especially when I talk about influence and people often view salespeople as a certain type, right? And a lot of times people view sales, the skill set of influence and persuasion, as learning manipulation. And I want to talk about that today, and I want to dispel some myths about sales today. And this is really inspired by an event I had happen. On Sunday, I went to this event. It's like an authentic relating event here in Chicago. One of my goals is to really build powerful, awesome, conscious, woke community in Chicago. And, someone was asking me in the middle of like a break, someone was asking me about what I do. And I was sharing, I teach influence, and I teach skill sets in influence, and I teach sales. And immediately I had someone that was just the moderator. She was just like, no, she was just like her energy just shut down. And she's like, hey, you guys can have that conversation later. Like, let's just, kind of wind down that conversation, as we were waiting for someone to come out of the restroom and back in. And it was like a weird energy, because it just felt like all of a sudden it was like a cutoff, like you're not allowed to talk about that. And I was just like, okay, like it was my first time at the group. I'm just like, okay, like maybe there are rules, and I wasn't trying to enroll anyone or anything like that. I was just sharing about what I did, but it triggered something in her. And after our whole meeting was over, she came up to me and she apologized. And she said, I'm so sorry. It's just like, that's my stuff. And, I could tell that you're really good at what you do. Like, I can tell that you have a lot of coaching experience just by the way that you showed up here. And I just want you to know that it wasn't you, it was me. And so one of the things that I was thinking about was this week I feel like I've been triggering everyone around me. I don't know if it's like full moon vibes or whatever, but I realize that this is a subject that needs to be talked about, because that ick factor that you feel when someone says, hey, like I do sales, or let's have a conversation about sales, or anything having to do with sales, if you feel like, like something in your stomach, something in your body that's like, then what's going on is you have a resistance to sales. And there are certain things, right? Like if someone shows up and they're super spammy and like the energy feels really off, okay, there's that. But also having the proper self-awareness to understand what's mine and what is someone else's is super powerful for you to understand and know. Because a lot of times we might have our own perception, we might have our own connotations, we might have our own viewpoints on sales, and we might see it as something that's manipulative. We might see it as like someone who's trying to get something from us, especially if you consider yourself very sensitive or more empathic. In the past, you might have felt other people's agenda towards you, and that might have caused this connotation. And also, like, if you have that connotation, if you have that perception, I'm telling you the truth, it is impacting your sales. It's impacting your sales. There's no way in hell that it cannot be impacting your sales. If you view sales or people that do sales in a way that's like, ugh, or like, I want nothing to do with that, or you have a reaction, an adverse reaction, it is impacting your ability to sell. And I mean, that's probably, Keely, I'm going to read your comment in a moment. But that's probably something that you picked up, that you learned from someone else, and it's someone else's energy and not your own energy. Because at the end of the day, what sales is, it's enrolling someone in something that they perceive as valuable, where the value exchange is they give you money for that service, for that product, because they perceive it as a higher value than the money that they are paying for it. Objectively, that's all sales is. That's all it is. I just bought a bunch of gifts for my nephew on Amazon right now, and I perceived the value of the joy that the gifts were going to bring my nephew and the usefulness it was going to bring my brother and my sister-in-law. I perceived that value as higher than the money that I was going to spend on it. I was sold. Does that make sense? And so when we think about sales, we want to really understand what our relationship is with it, and you can tell by how you react to people. When they say that they're salespeople, or how you react to someone wanting to have a sales conversation with you, or how you react to any time that you feel you are quote unquote being sold to. And remember, sometimes it can be the other person. There are certain salespeople, and this is kind of the old paradigm of sales that I do not subscribe to. I really believe that sales is, when done properly, it's always going to be a win-win-win, meaning, you know, you win as the consumer because you're getting something massively valuable, you're investing in something massively valuable that is going to support or improve your life in some way, shape, or form. The salesperson wins because they are like excited to provide you with this service, right? And the world wins. The world is left better because you participated in this, right? Like the win-win-win sales. And of course I do high ticket sales. I do transformational sales in the coaching, business coaching space, right? And so it's a little bit different than selling a trinket. However, I really do feel if you do have an ick factor with sales, it's impacting your sales. And I also get that you have really, really good reasons for it. And the whole, like, there are certain, generalizations or stereotypes that could exist for a reason, right? Like, it's like the used car salesman selling a lemon and like taking advantage of people, and like that kind of people that have their own agenda and put their own agenda before yours, before what's best for you. And the best salespeople are the ones that build relationships, are the ones that are of service, are the ones that are here to deliver value. And that's the kind of salesperson that you get to be. And that's the kind of salesperson that really creates massive results and massive impact for the individuals that they work with. And in becoming that kind of salesperson, in really owning that sales can be used for something really powerful and something really that really supports a lot of people, you improve your own sales in your own business. You not only improve that, but you're able, as your business scales, as your business grows, as you really dig into that, you get to impact more people. The other thing I want to talk about is this whole manipulation. Like, when I was at that event, I could tell when I said influence, and like the skill set of influence, it really like jarred this person next to me. And here's the thing. We are all enrolling people in something most of the time, right? And understanding your influence is just being conscious of it and just understanding how to utilize it. And I want to use an example from my own life of how this influence skill set like can change lives. So my dad recently, about a month and a half ago, I had a very influential conversation with him. And he had wanted to lose some weight, and it would be beneficial for his health. It's usually beneficial for a lot of people's health, if they need to lose weight, to lose some weight, right? And because I was able to have a level of conversation with him that was influential, I got him to do a ketogenic diet, which he went on vacation for like a week, and he is still on a ketogenic diet. And he like sends me photos of the scale and is wearing pants that he hasn't worn in years because he's already lost more than 20 pounds. And that is the power of influence. And people that are afraid to dig into influence because they're afraid of being manipulative, like, you are afraid of your own power. That's what's really going on. You are afraid of your own power. And if you're afraid of sales, you're also afraid of your own power, and you're afraid that you will either overpower people or that like you at some point felt like you gave your power away to someone and you fear that that's going to happen. But the key about sales and the way that I teach it is sales is simply offering the opportunity for someone to make an empowered decision. And an empowered decision can be absolutely yes, and it can be absolutely no. But they get to choose, they get to decide, because both of you are in a place of power. It's not someone having power over another person, which is how sales has been taught in the past. That's not at all what it is. It's really providing an experience and an education. So like during the sales conversation, during the whole sales process, where someone can make a decision that is from a place of power, that's from a place of choosing themselves and making an empowered choice for themselves. And that does take skill set. It absolutely takes influence skill set. And also, if you are a coach and you don't have an understanding of your own influence skill set, like, how are you going to drive your clients to take action on things that they've been avoiding, to take action on things that they have not understood why they haven't been doing it? How are you going to guide them to an empowered decision if you resist your own power, if you resist your own influence? And that's the power of sales. You're always enrolling people in something, right? Like where to go to dinner. You discussing different options. There might not be a monetary exchange at that moment, but you're always influencing your own life, your own decisions, and the people around you. And understanding influence and persuasion is just being conscious of it, conscious of what you're doing, conscious of what others doing, and being able to have a sense of power over it. All right, that's it for me. I've got to jump on some calls today. If you are interested, I am teaching Persuasion and Influence in my Sales Embodiment Incubator. It is amazing. It's a 6-month program. You really want to master this stuff. You really want to master high ticket sales. And this, like, the lifetime return on investment on this is insane. I'm teaching the inner and the outer work of sales, meaning the outer work is the skill set and the inner work is the confidence, the courage, being the embodiment, being that person that is able to ask those questions. And when I say the lifetime return on investment, I've used everything that I'm teaching here in the Sales Embodiment Incubator to close millions of dollars in sales in the coaching, personal development, consulting, speaking industries. And so if that's the kind of skill set that you're looking for your next level, let's have a conversation. So you can just message me here, and I look forward to hearing from you, and I will talk to you all again soon.